Now we're going to disassemble the firearm. Oh, I didn't get the other side. There we go. Alright, so typical disassembly, we're going to pull that off. Pull our guide rod out. Alright, now that we've got it apart, we're going to replace this plastic striker sleeve right here. And the way we've got to do this, if we actually got to pull down, let me get a better grip on this. If you can see that moving right there, we've got to pull down on that. And then when I pull down this back plate right here, I'm going to push this out. Now as I push this out, I'm going to keep my finger up here so I catch the spring. There's a spring in here and I don't want all this to go shooting out. So I'm going to pull down. This should just push up. I'm going to keep pushing up. Now see how I've got my finger there? With my finger, I'm going to release the pressure. Now to get it out, we're going to have to put pressure here, push that up. So I'm going to pull that up with my thumb, then I'm going to push down on the lock, then I'm going to push backwards. It's a little slippery, so there you go. Alright, so now you see this, you see how dirty, let's see if we can get that, how it's scratched and almost like a sandpaper. If you've got a gritty or sticky trigger, this is probably your problem. Now, what I'm going to have to do is, you see this little plastic retainer? See that split in that plastic retainer right there? We've got to pull that out. And the easiest way to do this that I have found is to actually put this backwards in here. And I am going to hold it down here. I'm going to zoom in. See if I get it to zoom. Alright, so I'm zoomed in. I'm going to pull down on this spring. I'm going to pull up on this retainer. Now hold on to that spring and pull that spring off. Alright, so if you saw how that come apart, we'll pull this back out. Alright, now with this, you see this little spring right here? Alright, I'm going to hold this spring and I'll pull this out. And that's all that is to that. Now, alright, it's hard with this thing real. You see all that grit and dirt down in there. If you've got a sticky trigger or a hard trigger or a gritty trigger, this is probably your problem. Alright, so my first suggestion is to go ahead and order you one of these stainless ones. It's nice and smooth. It won't get gummed and nasty. It won't get the scuffs and marks down in there like this plastic one will, not as easily. And I will already tell you that when I changed this out on my G3C, it made a world. It was night and day. It was literally, that trigger is not bad out from the factory, but you put this stainless one in there, and it is 10 times better. It really, really is. You feel the brake wall. You know, it's got a long take up, and then you feel that brake, but it's a very smooth brake. I really, really like it. But if you cannot, now again, this is only 10 or 15. This is not that much. Alright, and my suggestion is go ahead and get your stainless guide rod and spring and go ahead and get this. I think you're going to be out maybe $40 shipped to you, maybe, at most. It's not much more than that. There we go. Alright, come on in. There you go. Alright, so this is what that looks like. But if you can't afford that, I get it. I've been in that position myself. Take this. Oh, we're back out of focus. Take this and clean this. Now it's got some little edges on here. I actually suggest taking some kind of little file, a honing stone or something, and like smoothing these edges out, smoothing all of these edges out. A piece of maybe 2,000 or 3,000 grit sandpaper and smooth those edges down. Any of you car guys that work on your cars and stuff, you've probably got some 1,500 to 6,000 grit sandpaper laying around from where you were doing a little painting, and I suggest you smooth all that down, smooth all that out, and then clean the inside. I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to, there's a line in there. You see these little lines, it's the manufacturing lines. There's a manufacturing line down in there, but it's hard to see. I can see it right here but I can't see it on camera. I'm looking at the screen and I can't see it on the camera, but it's there. You may see some dirt running along it right there. I would smooth that out as well, and again, I would take like some of that 6,000 grit sandpaper and just smooth it out. Just get it to where it's smooth, or even if you took a cardboard box and cut it and twisted it up, because a cardboard box is a sandpaper. It will polish it, and you could just polish that up with like a cardboard box. Just cut you a piece and roll it up, and then send it down in there like a honing stone. That would be one way to do it as well. And then of course clean all this gunk out, and that'll smooth that trigger up as well. These just get scuffed up really easy. That's why I suggest coming on over to your stainless one. Alright guys, we're going to try to get this back together. I've got, make sure you put it on with your small spring here. Your sleeve goes on like that. Your large spring goes on. Now typically what I would suggest to you is go in backwards like this. I'm actually going to try to go in backwards like this so I can get it on camera. I'm hoping it's going to hold it higher. Now I'm going to pull this spring down past this little edge right there. Alright, so I'm going to pull down on the spring. I'm going to take my little keeper. Alright, make sure the skinny end is down toward the bottom. Alright, and I got my one keeper in. Alright, with my one keeper in, alright, you see how it wants to come up? I'm going to have to push it down with my one keeper. I'm going to take my other keeper. I don't know if you can see, I just got my other keeper in. Alright, once you get that one keeper in, it's not that big of a deal. But your keepers, see if we can get it to focus that close. There we go. Alright, that's how your keepers, you can see the split in the keeper, and that's all they do. They just come around that rod right here, and then they just retain. It's just a spring keeper or retainer, and it keeps it on there, and then you're back fully assembled. Alright, so you put this back in the exact opposite of the way we took it apart. So I'm going to put this in just like this. Alright, see how that's going down in? Now again, we've got to push this part down to slide our rear piece. Now make sure you start your rear piece will slide in there either way. Make sure you put it in the proper way. It's going to seat up in there just like, focus in, just like that. Alright, this is not right. It will slide in like that. They will start going in like that. So make sure you slide it like that. Alright, so I'm going to take my little tool. I'm going to push down here. I'm going to pull my tool, and I'm going to pull it the rest of the way with my tool. Alright, I'm getting my tool in. Just like that. Then I'm going to make sure you put it in the right way. I grabbed it the wrong way again. Make sure you get that pushed down. Once you get it, you've got to make sure you push your sleeve all the way past. You see it's past the lip. If it's too far up, it's got a lot of tension. But if you pull it all the way down, then you can push that in. Now it's seated in. Alright, now everything's in there properly. Alright, so now I'm going to back this camera off a little bit. Put your barrel in like you would normally put it in. Make sure it falls in. So we're just going to pop it in. Of course, put it down on your second ledge, just like that. Alright, and then we're just going to put the gun back together like normal. So here we go, just like that. Wiggle it a little bit, and then we're good. Trigger, trigger, everything works good. Alright guys, this is Spencer with Defense Training. Stay safe, stay armed. Please like, subscribe, and comment on this video below. Thanks.